You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6, the government makes a decision for the future of the Grand Lucayan Resort. Reeling in poachers, new fines to keep the illegal fishermen at bay. Also ahead, find out what Fox Hill has in store tonight.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Topping the news tonight, Tourism Minister, the Honorable Dionisio De Aguilar, defending the government's decision to use a mortgage purchase agreement to secure the Grand Lucayan Resort in Grand Bahama. The administration has come under criticism for its decision to purchase the property, which has been closed following the passage of Hurricane Matthew back in 2016.
We feel compelled to step forward to do something. No one is willing to step forward to purchase the hotel, so the government must step in to avoid the closure of that hotel and the economic consequences that may appear or may happen. So, it's not a good decision, but we have to make a decision. Governments have to act, and we have to act to save, to make an attempt to save the economy of Freeport, and that's what we're attempting to do. And trust me when I say, we recognize more than anyone that we don't necessarily want to own and run a hotel.
The Grand Lucayan employed hundreds and was a driver of the Grand Bahama economy. Minister De Aguilar insists the government had to do something.
Life is about choices. When we came to office, there's a certain amount in the budget that we had put in the budget for the Grand Lucayan project, recognizing from the outset that there would be the need to assist that project. Is it enough? Obviously not. So we'll have to take from one area, tighten over here, but we will come in on a budget. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of people who are complaining that, look, we jacked up our VAT and say we can't afford this and we can't afford that. And this is like a hurricane that is blown up. And so we have to deal with it. This is an emergency situation. And we're just going to have to belt tighten somewhere else.
Meantime, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Anthony Newbold, also updating the media on the Grand Lucayan talks. When asked about the government's expectation and how they will affect the government's fiscal position, Mr. Newbold had this to say.
It has to revisit its fiscal projections and all of the expectations that it had. As you said, it's been likened to a hurricane. That was one of the things the Minister of Finance said, that please God, don't send us a hurricane. Everything is going to have to be revamped and looked at in those terms. This is something that the government didn't expect that it would have to do. So here it is, there's this hotel that's sitting out there, a couple of thousand people not working. We got to get involved. So the government gets involved, says, Prime Minister says we're going to buy this hotel. Well, everything that goes with that now have to be factored against what was planned for the fiscal health of the nation over the next 12 months.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Harbor Patrol Unit receiving a generous donation from the United States Embassy today of a vessel. The Charge d'Affaires, Stephanie Bauer, spoke about how this vessel will assist in the crime fight.
The 25-foot safe response boat is perfectly suited for both inner harbor and coastal patrol missions. I am confident the presence of these patrol craft will increase the RBDF's ability to ensure the safe and secure passage of the cruise ships that visit Nassau. As part of this project, we previously provided another boat, as well as trucks and trailers to support the safety and maintenance of these resources. Finally, to promote sustainability in the deployment of and care for the vessels, Safe Boats International will provide training for the RBDF in the coming months.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dame, says a joint law enforcement task force may soon be put in place to patrol the harbors.
Proposing a multi-agency task force whose responsibility it would be to protect our shores, especially New Providence, Grand Bahama, and those islands that are very active. And this will go after all of those persons who are trafficking in illicit contraband, who are dealing in uncustoms goods, who are trafficking in persons, and who are doing any other thing that may be illegal.
With poaching a major problem for local fishermen, those responsible for protecting the sector are looking to include stiffer penalties to deter the practice. Just Friday past, a group of 46 Dominican fishermen pleaded guilty to charges stemming from fishing in Bahamian waters, drawing a $3 million fine. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pindard, explains what his ministry is looking to do next.
As a government, we made a determination, and right now we're gaining additional information from the advisory committee that's examining the fisheries legislation on what would be a list of recommended penalties. We do intend to increase the penalty against captains of vessels poaching in the Bahamas, of the crew members, so that it is a disincentive for them to risk their lives coming in Bahamian waters and raping our resources.
Well, still ahead, it's Fox Hill Day. We'll tell you how the morning got started. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
My name is Dawn Pinder. I work at Great Cliff Chocolate and Cigar Company. I am the inventory manager. I have been a customer of Commonwealth Bank for the past 3 years, March 2015 to be exact. At this time, I have a loan with them. That was the reason why I went to Commonwealth Bank. And I now have my checking account and my savings account with Commonwealth Bank. It was easy, simple. They trusted me. I didn't have any accounts with them and they gave me the loan. I will recommend Commonwealth Bank to my friends. I have actually recommended it to a few of my co-workers here that have had the exact same experience that I've had at Commonwealth Bank. I will definitely say that Commonwealth Bank is the bank for the Bahamian people.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
54 young Bahamians were awarded scholarships to attend the University of the Bahamas to pursue degrees in education. Arvon Albury was there for the presentations.
4 males make up the 54 scholarship recipients, many of them the best and brightest, with more than 9 PGCSEs with A's, B's, and C's. Minister Lloyd noted that the government is spending more than $500,000, $10,000 a year for each awardee, which includes a stipend of $475 per month. He admonished them to be change agents as the school system is braced for rapid change, beginning with 1,000 3-year-olds entering each school year for the next 5 years.
Beginning this year, September, we are going to roll out a 100% digitized educational system. Here's what I mean, 100% educational digitized. Here's what I mean. Every school, 172 of them, every education building, 60 of them, will be a smart school and a smart building. Every single one. All of our preschool and primary school students, Some 30,000 of them are going to have a tablet in their hand. And their teachers and teachers' aides are going to have a laptop.
The students include Family Islanders, private and public school graduates, as well as current UB students who achieved a GPA of 3 points or above. Minister Lloyd told them that no principal makes more than $50,000 a year, and teachers' salaries have not increased appreciably since 1970. Thanking them for choosing to teach, a move welcomed by the Director of Education, Marcellus Taylor.
We are happy that some students still choose teaching. Despite the, I guess, the decline in the status of the teaching profession. And, a lot of it might be because those persons are the kind of persons who realize that, fulfillment comes in different ways, different forms. And for those students, we hope that a career in teaching will indeed provide them with, some sort of gratifications and fulfillment to contribute to society's development.
And that is why the future of the Bahamas is bright. I am Vaughn Albury, ZNS Network News.
A lesson in earning rewards by Baines and Grantstown MP Travis Robinson. Yesterday, he handed out gift certificates to deserving students. Member of Parliament for the area announced that this year's Back to School initiative will not only help school preparation, but encourage the young residents to excel academically.
I am pleased to announce that our budget is up by $10,000 from last year's budget of $20,000 to now $30,000, which will cover 237 students for this year. This increase was necessary due to the high levels of unemployment, underemployment, single-parent homes, financially challenged families in the Baines and Grantstown constituency.
The annual Fox Hill Day celebrations underway today, and this morning, as part of the tradition, a number of church services were held throughout the area. Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, Chanel Ferguson, used the opportunity to highlight Foxhillians who have made a difference.
Freddie Ramsey was a senator out of this church. And that Johnny Ann Dorset is currently a senator out of this church. And I also remind people that very few of those who establish our national symbols are still alive. And the national pledge and the national song came out of someone from this church.
Member of Parliament for Pinewood and Foxhillian Reuben Ramming was in attendance to take part in the festivities. He spoke to what Fox Hill Day means to him.
Fox Hill Day speaks to the organism of this community, which is similar to our Constitution, which gives an abiding respect for Christian value. Why do I say that? It is because the spirit of Fox Hill Day and Fox Hill itself started out with the Baptist churches within the community, and they celebrate that with the children in the community. This has been going on for so long right now that we had to, as I would have just done in church, had to reclassify what a child is. Because right now, the children in Foxhill are 80 years old, 70 years old.
Well, it's a village flourished in pride and folklore. As residents celebrate Fox Hill Day, we took a closer look today at a history of the village. Here's DeAndre Williamson.
Christ paid the death for all the little children, Fox Hill, Bahamas, and all.
At 94 years old, Miriam Roker is one of the oldest residents living in the Fox Hill community. She was born in this house next to the home she resides. This former teacher shares some of her fondest memories growing up in Fox Hill.
It was a really happy community, but everyone was simple. If I needed something, and I stood to the gate and went past, like going to the store, you can say, well, please bring it for me. And it was just like a big family.
Fox Hill is an historic community whose background portrays the horror of slavery. The village was named after Samuel Fox, an ex-slave who lived on the site of St. Augustine's Monastery. Fox settled in the area in 1752.
I just learned that there was no Fox in Fox Hill on top of a hill. It's Samuel Fox, 1801, granted 23.5 acres of property.
Another name associated with Fox Hill's history is Judge Robert Sandilands, who came to the colony in 1820. He owned a plantation in the center of the village. The remains of his home is now an historic site.
4 years later, he subdivided the land and sold parcels following emancipation. The village was divided into several towns: Burnside Town, Joshua Town, Nangle Town, Congo Town. Many Fox Hillians received their early education here at Sandilands Primary School. The school was established in 1845 and was once called the Sandilands All-Age School. The school was named in honor of Judge Robert Sandilands. And guess what? I attended the school also.
The whole school was in one room. And the grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the first section dealt with the primary children. And Miriam Roker, she was my teacher. Miriam Roker, my first teacher, school. She taught me how to write. I could still write. And we did well in school.
Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming says while students left school at the age of 14 in those days, there was one day everyone looked forward to. It was Party Day, now known as Fox Hill Day, celebrated on the second Tuesday in August. Children at the Baptist churches dressed in their best for a program filled with recitations and dialogue.
Those were the candy cars in those days. They couldn't sleep. They didn't lay down at all that night. So Party Day would look good and charming. Party Day. So I called it the RIT to passage. So we knew from then, you're no longer at 14, no longer boy, you're a man, no longer girl, you're a woman.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
The most important person in my life is my mom because she helped me up when I am down, and she says with God help, the sky is the limit. Peace and quiet is what I like most about being in Over the Hill. I am Over the Hill.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Team Bahamas playing for gold tonight at the Senior Men's Kazova Championships in Suriname, with the host country locking up their spot in the final last night. Trinidad and Tobago and the Bahamas took to the court this morning, with the winner advancing to play for the title. The Bahamas took the opening set. Trinidad came back to take the next two, meaning the 2-4-2 had their backs against the wall, but they never flinched, taking the final two sets, making sure there would be a new champion. Set scores 26-24, 21-25, 22-25, 25-19, and 15-12. Prince Wilson once again leading the way, 19 kills and 9 digs. Ronaldo Knowles adding 13 kills. For those of you interested, members of the local volleyball community are meeting tonight at Fish Central Arawak Key for a watch party as they show their support for Team Bahamas. Our women's national basketball team also getting ready for international competition this month in Puerto Rico at the Central Basket Tournament. Interim coach Wade Watson knows it's not going to be easy.
We got Puerto Rico coming out of the gate. Puerto Rico is ranked, I think, 22nd in the world, according to FIBA. And then after Puerto Rico, we play Mexico. And Mexico is ranked, I think 32nd in the world. The third night we have Costa Rica. The Bahamas, according to the FIBA stats, have us ranked 77 in the world. So our objective right now is to beat Puerto Rico. We want to keep it close. And hopefully in keeping it close, we can sneak a win. Because the home crowd is going to be behind Puerto Rico. And plus, they have a very, very good team. And I don't doubt our players, but I know for certain that their players play on the circuit a lot. And I know they have a lot more playing time together as a team compared to our female national team. We get an opportunity to qualify for Women's World Cup in 2019 by finishing fourth in Central Basket. So it's going to be a little challenge for us, but we're going to have to go with what we have and try our best to represent the Bahamas accordingly.
From the WNBA, Jonquel Jones and the Connecticut Sun go for the season sweep and hope to keep the Dallas Wings out of the playoffs when the two meet tonight. This is part of a 4-game homestand as the Sun gets set to close out the regular season. Following this game, they have 2 games remaining against the Minnesota Lynx and the LA Sparks. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series was back on court yesterday at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Marshall moved to 2-0, beating up on IBA Elite 109-91. For IBA, Shanton Pratt finishing up with 11 points. Just one game again this evening. That features the University of the Bahamas Mingos up against Presbyterian College. From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Chavez Fernando 3 innings, struck out 2, allowed 2 hits, no runs, was the winning pitcher in the Gulf Coast Tigers' 5-1 win over the Pirates. Fernando now 4-1 on the season. Chavez Young went 3 for 5, 2 runs batted in, but Lansing, they lost to Bowling Green 12-6. Christian Robinson 1 for 3, 2 runs scored. Dominic Colley 1 for 3 as the Arizona League Diamondbacks went down to the Angels 6-2. As for Perez Knowles, he got in 1 inning of work out of the bullpen, allowed 2 runs on a hit in the Greenville Reds 4-1 loss. Back here at home, 2 games tonight in the Province Softball Association. Up first, the Alive Strikers taking on the Platinum Pool Lady Sharks. That's followed by the Commando Security Truckers and the C&S Hitmen. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
You can be in the know right now. Turn on notifications for your Visa card from CIBC First Caribbean, and you will know every time your card is used. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer. I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field though.
Many different things inspire me. It isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day. Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. Family fun, audience prizes, see the live entertainment with featured singer Thin Ice. All happening this Friday, August 17th at the Courtyard Marriott. Be there. Tickets only $15, available at Airbrush Junkies, the Mall at Marathon.
I had an awesome time. Very good. It was a lot of fun. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was really nice.
It was tremendous, and I felt as though I was in the States at one of those game trivia shows.
Yeah, and more Bahamians should come out and support this event because you're not only learning new things about the Bahamas, about the world as a matter of fact, but you're also donating to charities that are, needing help here in the Bahamas. So come on, it's only $15. What's $15?
Thank you.
No VAT.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. See you there.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the passport office issuance section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we have an area of low pressure in the north central Atlantic, which could take on some subtropical characteristic by tomorrow. It has about a 40% chance of that happening. And even if it does, it will be short-lived as there's some cool waters ahead and it will eventually just waste away. And then on our home front, we still have a little bit of convection over the extreme northwest Bahamas associated with that upper level trough, which is well now to the west of us. But there's a tropical wave spreading across the southeast and central Bahamas, so showers will be kicking up in the central and southeastern islands during the course of tonight. Outside of our studios, we're under partly cloudy skies, temperature 88 degrees, a relative humidity at 62%. The winds are out of the southeast at 13 miles per hour, your barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars. That is 30.05 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for us. And first at 6, stay tuned, though. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition straight ahead.
A Christian leader calling for a major change on Grand Bahama. Schools in the West a major concern. And a young entrepreneur hoping to inspire others.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. The government's moving closer to securing a new heads of agreement for the controversial Oban Energy deal earmarked for East Grand Bahama. Minister of Labor, the Honorable Dion Foulkes, who co-chairs the Cabinet Subcommittee and Technical Advisory Group, says that the agreement will be more pleasing to the Bahamian people and residents of East End in particular, as it will set out better environmental terms and protections. According to Foulkes, some of the restrictive legal positions in the current agreement will be revised. Once the Technical Advisory Committee submits its report to the government, negotiations for the new heads of agreements will begin. Folks says once a new agreement is in place, the Oban project can move forward. In March, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, admitted that his government made a series of missteps regarding its deal with Oban Energies in its haste to jumpstart the Grand Bahama economy. Despite the controversy surrounding the multi-billion-dollar project, folks believes that once the government is satisfied that the development can proceed, it will be good news for Grand Bahama.
Oban has done a lot of legwork with respect to setting up an office in Freeport, and also they are also prepared, I am advised by their principals, to move quickly to begin the project and to begin to employ Grand Bahamians.
The government signed the $5.5 billion agreement with Oban Energies back in February for the oil refinery and storage facility for East Grand Bahama.
I think the main thing is the economic benefit. They are, generally speaking, very high-paying jobs in this industry. The employees at Statoil and also at Buckeye, they are paid above average salaries than the normal industry. So there's over 300 Grand Bahamians who will be employed there. And then you have the spin-off in the economy. And so it is very good news for Grand Bahama from an economic point of view.
Residents on Grand Bahama are still hoping for an economic turnaround. The leader of the Grand Bahama Christian Council says that maybe now is the time for the government to consider a major change that can possibly bring the island back to its glory days. Italia Hall has the details.
President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Robert Lockhart, is encouraging Grand Bahamians to continue to pray to God to move the island forward. He says he believes that it is time for the government to now consider the model by which Grand Bahama has been operating by for many years.
We've been running with a set model, a set structure, way of operating for the last 40, 50 years, and I believe it's quite possible that that which used to work for us is now working against us.
The president says Grand Bahama has not been able to recover from its economic woes, and it is time for a change.
I think we need to begin to look at the foundation of how we operate as an island, or we operate as an area that we call Freeport, and see if it is time for us to consider some changes. I do agree somewhat with the former Prime Minister that it may be time for the government to seriously consider purchasing Freeport.
Former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, noted recently that the ownership of the port by the government with other partners, including Bahamian investors, could restore Grand Bahama. Reverend Dr. Robert Lockhart says overall, he does not think that decision would be a bad idea.
We need to seriously consider if that's still viable for the future or if that's had its time. The developers have accomplished the purpose that we wanted it to accomplish, which was to bring development, advancement, build a modern city, and so now that has been achieved. And maybe we've come to the place that that's been achieved in Freeport.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, the Grand Bahama Port Authority releasing a statement just moments ago stating that, in reference to recent statements released by the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, we disagree with the suggestion that today's government should purchase the Grand Bahama Port Authority instead of the Grand Lucayan Hotel. We remain focused on working together with the Bahamas government, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to improve the quality of life for the residents of Grand Bahama Island and, by extension, our nation. Now, the statement concludes that the Grand Bahama Port Authority recognizes the island's challenges due to the lack of critical mass, which negatively impacts the small business sector, and they've hence put forth recommendations in conjunction with other stakeholders to introduce a proactive immigration policy that would attract highly skilled individuals needed to help grow and diversify our economy, resulting in an increased population. In other news, patrons of web shops do not have to face any new taxes until next month, as the government implemented 5% stamp duty tax on web shop deposits that was set to take effect yesterday has been pushed back. Gaming Minister the Honorable Dionisio D. Aguilar said that gaming houses were not ready and needed more time to get their affairs in order. Financial Secretary and the Secretary of the Gaming Board met with them, and they came up with a new date of September 1st for the tax to take effect. In other news, schools across the country are preparing to open their doors in just a matter of weeks. And tonight, health and structural concerns top the priority list for the Bahamas Union of Teachers. Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quintin Larota, says that there are 2 schools on Grand Bahama that have been of concern for some time. Parents, teachers, and even students of the 8 Mile Rock High School have been advocating for years now to have that school building shut down and relocated. Larota says that he believes now is the time.
We felt that would have ameliorated those consistent concerns every year. Governments, both PLP and FNM, have spent tremendous amount of money repairing or cleaning for mold and all of these things. And so we just want a break from that. And so we see that the new school is well on its way. I know that there is a plan in place to have the new school be a junior school only, but there is a growing number of teachers, myself included, who think it's probably a bad idea to move the entire population. There's 500 kids there. A junior school typically won't be built with the workshops. So perhaps if you put some workshops on the new site, that could accommodate everybody.
Bartlett Hill Primary School is also a concern following the major damage that school suffered during Hurricane Matthew. Larota says that teachers and students are occupying the building, although it was never completely repaired. And he says they are still experiencing issues.
Teachers are, they're a committed people, and they're mindful that they're a part of helping the community get back to a sense of normalcy. And so after some time in the church, they moved back in Bartlett Hill. But there's been some concerns expressed by the school board in particular, and my shop stood there, that there are continuing structural situations and leaks and so forth, and concerns, where there's a leak, there become mold and create a health hazard. On the mold, the Bahamas is challenged with mold, and for the architects and the engineers, Ministry of Works people, when we build these buildings, we have to keep that in mind.
Larota says that health and safety will always be a top priority for the union.
No matter what happens, though, the union is committed to having the teachers work in an environment that's safe and relatively healthy. I think the principal down there has that same mindset, and I believe that the powers that be in Nassau as well. So we have to work and partner to ensure that our teachers and our students are in the best environment possible.
Now, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, is expected on Grand Bahama tomorrow, August 15th, to tour schools in the Western District. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to come on down. Now, to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. They're loaded with indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, landscaping plants, flowering plants, herbs, and more at the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. And if you need advice, the friendly, courteous staff at Dolly Madison is there to assist. And don't forget to pick up your soil, fertilizers, and other accessories. Don't wait. Come on down. Now.
Grand Bahama John West Shoe Store is still your #1 family shoe store for work, school, formal occasions, and play. We're stocked to the roof with all your favorite brands like Timberland, Reebok, Levi's, and Vikings, from infants to men. Ladies, we've got your flats opened and closed, wedges and stilettos, and everything else in between. So, when your feet is calling for a new pair of shoes, John West Shoe Store. John West Shoe Store. We're gonna take you there in style.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. We now go to our weekly Generation Y series. In this report, our Italia Hall speaks with a young budding hairstylist. This talented young lady shares some of the challenges that she faced before getting into the field, and she hopes to inspire others to follow their dreams.
21-year-old Renishka Cartwright has been in the braiding industry for 2 years. She says braiding was always her passion from she was a child.
I would braid my doll's hair. I would put my doll's hair in ponytail. I just found anything to do with the hair because I loved hair designing. I always enjoyed braiding when I was younger, but I did not take it serious until I got into the real world, and working for someone else was not fun.
Well, she left her job to focus on her talent, but she says it was no easy decision and she was very nervous.
But before I left, I got my mother's consent whether I should leave because I didn't want to leave her as the only person working. And she was telling me that maybe you should stick it out because at least that's a set. At least you know you're going to make something at the end of the week. So leaving that job to become an entrepreneur, braiding was a real challenge and it was a brave move.
Renishka says it was hard going into the industry, which is very competitive. She says she started off with a few clients and that number has grown tremendously, noting that sometimes she has clients from 9 a.m. until 4 a.m. on a daily basis. The hairstylist says she also travels often to showcase her talent and has a website with videos that displays her work.
I've done events in California, Vegas, Nevada, Atlanta, Georgia, Orlando, Florida, Memphis, Tennessee. I expose my talent by traveling. Using social media as my platform, artists and companies have reached out to me to become part of events.
But home is where her heart is. She says come next month, she will be going into all of the government high schools on Grand Bahama to share her talent and knowledge with the young people.
When I was in high school, cosmetology was not an option for me because most persons look at it as an easy pass or it's not a good business to go into. So right now I want to go into the schools, teach my technique, and I would love to do that because if you can work on the weekend as a student and you can make $200 or $300, your parents don't have to pay for your BGCSE, they don't have to pay for BJC, you can afford your uniforms, your cost, material, and so many things. You don't have to rely on people.
Thanks, Italia. A local businessman continuing an annual tradition. Frank's Ice Cream is once again holding its summer youth employment program. Young people are challenged to study the Bible and then take a test at the end of the program while competing for cash prizes and a car. Owner Frank Outen says this year, a total of 21 kids will receive cash and prizes, with the grand prize being a Mini Cooper brand vehicle.
kids will carry home the car. 7 minutes, 7 kids walking away with $1,000 each, 7 kids walking away with $500 each, and 7 kids walking away with $300 each. And this is not possible without the people throughout the community. I have friends all about in America that supports every year, and I'm looking for some more people to be of some help, looking for some business people who, when the Lord speak to their heart, just go and release a blessing out for these children. And some people say, hey, I don't want to be mentioned. You don't have to be mentioned. Just be a blessing to these kids.
Coordinator Jordan Curry says they are grateful to the community as the annual program would not be possible without their support.
I want to thank Grand Bahama and the wider Bahamas for their support throughout the program. We want to thank the parents for allowing their kids to come out to be a part of the program. We want to say a special thank you to all of the kids that came out and took the examination. They did a fantastic job. We have more in store for them for the upcoming summer, because the summer is not over as yet. But our closing ceremony is scheduled for August 26th at the Grand Lucaya Ballroom at 4 p.m. That's where we'll be giving away the car.
Now, the Frank Summer program has once again been extended to young people in the Family Islands. The Bahamas Federation of Performing Arts, following its mandate to educate and provide opportunities to artisans throughout the country. This month, the Federation will host a writer's workshop titled Pen to Paper. Director of Writing and Performing Arts, Sue Lynn McCrae, says the workshop, which is scheduled for August 25th, will be held at the C.A. Smith Building.
And it's open to everyone. The charge is $20. And what this is an information session and a workshop. So you will receive a certificate saying that you attended this workshop. And at this workshop, we will have some of our professionals in Grand Bahama who will be telling you about writing for our culture, how to get your performances on stage, how to write films and screenplays and novels and poetry, and how to get all of this published.
4 presenters are expected to be on the lineup, including McCrae.
Dr. Ian Strawn, who is president of UB in Grand Bahama and who is also a playwright and a novelist. Kirkland Bodie, who is, as you all know as KB, is a songwriter and a very, very loud voice for the rights of performing artists. And also Gia Peer, who is a poet and a writer and a director. So you have a wealth of talent coming to share. It's $20, and we invite anyone who has an interest in writing for film, for theater, who has an interest in writing music.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
This is Ask the Doctor. Welcome. MB from New Providence asked, I'm extremely overweight, and in recent years, it has begun to really affect me. I've tried everything, and I can't get this weight off. How can I make a real change in 2017? MB, thank you for your honesty. Many people take the opportunity at the beginning of a new year to focus on becoming healthier. Obesity is a complex condition characterized by excessive body fat. The only way to successfully overcome obesity and achieve and maintain a healthy body weight is to make real changes in how we live our lives. While there may be many contributing factors, like family history, hormone imbalance, or rare medical conditions, most people gain weight as a result of some combination of unhealthy eating habits and a lack of sufficient physical activity. Making small changes and being consistent over time can make a big difference. Changes like visiting a doctor or a community clinic for an annual full physical exam, taking a half-an-hour walk at least 5 days a week, drinking more water throughout the day, and avoiding fast foods and sugary drinks like sodas can help you reduce your body weight over time. If you have other questions about weight loss and living healthy, please email AskDrBahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Rumiko Knowles.
Just what you've been waiting for, the newest men's fashion store at number 1 Britannia Mini Mall, Caravel Beach, Hustle Men's Fashion. It's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks and teacher supplies for the classroom and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot Butcher Fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Welcome to sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, the West Grand Bahama Summer Basketball League closing out its 8th annual summer basketball tournament at the Fritz Forbes Community Park in Pinedale, 8 Mile Rock. Championship games were played in the under 13, under 15, under 17, and open division. On hand for the closing event, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, who admonished the young children to believe in themselves and to refocus as they prepare for the upcoming school year.
You have some tremendous examples from this community who have done some significant and just unexpected things, whether it's in basketball, whether it's in business, whether it's in education, law, whatever. You have some tremendous examples to follow. And I want to encourage you kids, as you start to now think about going back to school, to refocus your lives. Determine what your goals will be in life and to focus on them.
Also on the courts, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, congratulating the sponsors, organizers, and participants.
To all of our athletes out here, take advantage of this program. Congratulations for your entire season. You make us look good. I know that there are a lot of buddy heels out here, and some of you are going to make your own way into the NBA and beyond. So congratulations to all of the teams. Once again, thanks to all of the sponsors and to our organizer, Ross Burrows, and to all of you. Have a pleasant good evening.
A big congratulations to this year's champions. Game 4 of the YMCA Commercial Basketball League Championships is in the books, with the fast-track Gym Rats destroying Palomas Pistons 94-62 to tie the series at 2-2. Trevor Bain had a game-high of 24 points, Petro Williams with 22, and Travis Wild Goose 19 in the win for the Gym Rats. DeJohn Dub Wild Goose led Palomas with 16 points, and Howard Burrows got 11. Game 5 of that series is scheduled for Wednesday, August 14th. Tip-off time is at 8:30 p.m. And that's your check on sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
you can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad used it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
We've raised the state. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and vacation club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. Join satisfied Bahamians who left their banking frustrations behind. Open an account with GBCCU 352-4139.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Fontaine, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Present check? Besides the star now, I still gotta pay?
And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful evening.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. Family fun, audience prizes, see the live entertainment with featured singer Thin Ice. All happening this Friday, August 17th at the Courtyard Marriott. Be there. Tickets only $15, available at Airbrush Junkies, the Mall at Marathon.
I had an awesome time. Very good. It was a lot of fun. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was really nice.
It was tremendous, and I felt as though I was in the States at one of those game trivia shows.
Yeah, and more Bahamians should come out and support this event because you're not only learning new things about the Bahamas, about the world as a matter of fact, but you're also donating to charities that are, needing help here in the Bahamas. So come on, it's only $15. What's $15?
Thank you.
No VAT.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. See you there.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the passport office issuance section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the elephant in the room. The government makes a call on the future of the Grand Lucayan. Contract workers will soon be a thing of the past at the Ministry of Education. Hear the minister on a cabinet decision. And poaching penalties. Fisheries officials on plans to keep illegal fishermen at bay. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, the tourism minister mincing no words in his defense of the government's position to purchase the Grand Lucayan property in Grand Bahama. The Prime Minister made the announcement this past weekend, citing that his administration is trying to protect jobs there. Today, the tourism minister echoed the Prime Minister's sentiments, describing the decision as an emergency one. Here's Jimenita Swain.
With no interested buyer in the Grand Lucayan Resort, Tourism Minister the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar defended the Minister administration's decision to purchase the property. The minister says while the government does not wish to own a hotel property, it must take some action to protect jobs.
We feel compelled to step forward to do something. No one is willing to step forward to purchase the hotel, so the government must step in to avoid the closure of that hotel and the economic consequences that may appear or may happen. So, you know, it's not a good decision, but we have to make a decision. Governments have to act, and we have to act to save, to make an attempt to save the economy of Freeport, and that's what we're attempting to do. And trust me when I say, we recognize more than anyone that we don't necessarily want to own and run a hotel.
The Grand Lucayan closed a portion of its doors back in 2016 after significant damage from Hurricane Matthew. And most of the recent interest in the property's purchase was from the Wynn Group, but government said their proposal was unacceptable. The asking price for the property was $65 million. As for critics who challenge where the millions of dollars will come from for the deal, the tourism minister had this position.
Life is about choices. You know, when we came to office, there's a certain amount in the budget that we had put in the budget for the Grand Lucayan project, recognizing from the outset that there would be the need to assist that project. Is it enough? Obviously not. So we'll have to take from one area, tighten over here, but we will come in on a budget. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of people who are complaining that, look, we jacked up our VAT and say we can't afford this and we can't afford that. And this is like a hurricane that is blown up. And so we have to deal with it. This is an emergency situation. And we're just going to have to belt tighten somewhere else.
Presently, 400 jobs are at stake. Prime Minister Minis believes the closure will only negatively affect the Lucayan Strip and Marketplace. Going forward, Minister de Aguilar insists that government will still be looking for a purchaser.
We hope, as quickly as possible, to find another buyer to take it off our hands. And that's the premise upon which we're going forward. And the Prime Minister has given his reasons for so doing. You know, the purchaser is threatening every day to close it and lay off all these Bahamians and to close it. And once you close it, it's so difficult to reopen. So we're making the best of a bad situation, and we're trying as best as possible to be a kind and caring government. I know there are many naysayers out there. I'm from the private sector. Trust me when I say I don't want governments to buy assets like this, but the evidence is there. When we didn't act in the past, the results were devastating.
The tourism minister suggests that to do nothing runs the risk of another Royal Oasis debacle evolving.
And I want to remind the Bahamian people what happened there. The government did not step forward. They were hoping to have it sold. It was not sold. And the rest is history. You have a hotel that is dead, then had the effects of destroying the International Bazaar, and it died.
Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Anthony Newbold, also updating the media on the Grand Lucayan discussions. When asked about the government's expectations on the purchase of the property, he responded this way to a question over how it would affect the fiscal position.
It has to revisit its fiscal projections and all of the expectations that it had. As you said, it's been likened to a hurricane. That was one of the things the Minister of Finance said, that please God, don't send us a hurricane. Everything is going to have to be revamped and looked at in those terms. This is something that the government didn't expect that it would have to do. So here it is, there's this hotel that's sitting out there, a couple of thousand people not working. We got to get involved. So the government gets involved, says, Prime Minister, since we're going to buy this hotel. Well, everything that goes with that now have to be factored against what was planned for the fiscal health of the nation over the next 12 months.
Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, says government is moving to assess the number of contract workers at the Ministry of Education once and for all. The minister estimates the number to be between 600 and 700. He says money to those workers will be paid soon.
They're being paid this week. Some have been paid last week. Please know that we are going through yet again an audit of contract workers. Why? Because we want to know who is there. Who is working? Where are they working? Are you being properly registered in the system, being properly paid? Are you being paid by the Ministry of Education? Are you being paid by the Ministry of Finance? We want to clarify this once and for all because the Cabinet of the Bahamas has decided that this contract worker business is going to come to an end sometime over the next fiscal year.
Now, the minister said it's important to have a definitive number of workers who are in the system clarified.
How many persons are coming to work on a regular basis? How many are being paid by the Ministry of Education? Because we are now being advised that some of those persons on the payroll may have already retired or may in fact have left the system. We want to clarify that once and for all so that we can report to you. That exercise is underway. It will be completed by the end of August. A report will be generated from my desk. I will review it. Then we will come to the Bahamian people and advise.
With poaching a major problem for local fishermen, those responsible for protecting the sector are looking to include stiffer penalties to deter the practice. Just Friday past, a group of 46 Dominican fishermen pleaded guilty to charges stemming from illegal fishing and were hit with fines of nearly $3 million. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard, explains what the ministry will do next.
As a government, we made a determination, and right now we're gaining additional information from the advisory committee that's examining the fisheries legislation on what would be a list of recommended penalties. We do intend to increase the penalty against captains of vessels poaching in the Bahamas, of the crew members, so that it is a disincentive for them to risk their lives coming in Bahamian waters and raping our resources.
The Social Services and Urban Development Minister is clearing up some concerns over the social assistance program under his ministry. The Honorable Frankie Campbell gave this explanation as to why there was some delay in the distribution of funds.
The matter that caused most concern in recent times would be that of the card that was issued by Bank of the Bahamas, where persons would have had it filled in a timely fashion. I'm told that was a 3-year contract, and the 3 years started to expire sometime in March, in intervals, of course. at the end of each period, when someone is assessed for assistance, there should be a reevaluation. I'm of the impression that the reevaluation did not commence in a timely fashion. Bank of the Bahamas wanted to do the reissuing of the cards in a huge block, and that too was part and parcel of the delay. They were waiting for all the information to come one time so they could issue all the cards one time.
Well, the minister says he's confident that the matter should be resolved.
I've advised that those persons who've been evaluated already, they should go ahead and start issuing the cards. And I'm advised that some cards have been issued. I'm also advised that there was supposed to be a voucher system in place during that interim period. There was some apparent delay there. I'm advised that they have recommenced the voucher system. The system is never going to be perfect, but I believe that it could be a lot better than it is, and I want to work hard to raise the standard.
Well, still ahead tonight, the Defense Force receives another vessel to patrol the Nassau Harbor. And Fox Hill invites one and all to celebrate Emancipation Day a week later. It's Fox Hill Day. That story when the Bahamas Tonight returns.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
Get ready! Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the...
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
54 young Bahamians have been awarded scholarship grants to attend the University of the Bahamas to pursue degrees in education. The Minister of Education threw out the challenge for them to be creatively disruptive, keep growing, and to give back. Here's Vaughn Albury.
4 males make up the 54 scholarship recipients, many of them the best and brightest, with more than 9 BGCSEs with A's, B's, and C's. Minister Lloyd noted that the government is spending more than $500,000, $10,000 a year for each awardee, which includes a stipend of $475 per month. He admonished them to be change agents as the school system is braced for rapid change, beginning with 1,000 3-year-olds entering each school year for the next 5 years.
Beginning this year, September, we are going to roll out a 100% digitized educational system. Here's what I mean, 100% educational digitized. Here's what I mean. Every school, 172 of them, every education building, 60 of them, will be a smart school and a smart building. Every single one. All of our preschool and primary school students, some 30,000 of them, are going to have a tablet in their hand. And their teachers and teachers' aides are going to have a laptop.
The students include Family Islanders, private and public school graduates, as well as current UB students who achieved a GPA of 3 points or above. Minister Lloyd told them that no principal makes more than $50,000 a year, and teachers' salaries have not increased appreciably since 1970. Thanking them for choosing to teach, a move welcomed by the Director of Education, Marcellus Taylor.
We are happy that some students still choose teaching. Despite the, I guess, the decline in the status of the teaching profession. And, you know, a lot of it might be because those persons are the kind of persons who realize that, you know, fulfillment comes in different ways, different forms. And for those students, we hope that a career in teaching will indeed provide them with, you know, some sort of gratifications and fulfillment to contribute to society's development.
Duranique Miners of St. John's College, the 2018 National Student Cadet, was asked why she chose to become a teacher when she could have possibly made much more money in another profession.
That's the difference between your job and your passion. For me, teaching is my passion. It doesn't matter. The greatest reward is being able to stand before students and to inspire them and impact them, and then to help them come back to you and see how much you influence their life. That is the greatest amount of, no money can cover that, anything else. That is the greatest feeling ever.
You are called to produce. You are called to give back to your society, your country, your family. You are called to be better than the generation before you. You are called to be the best that God has created you to be. You are gifted, you are talented, you are amazingly wonderful.
And that is why the future of the Bahamas is bright. I am Vaughn Albury, ZNS Network News.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Harbor Patrol Unit received a generous donation of a vessel to help in patrolling Nassau Harbor and adjacent waters from the U.S. Embassy today. U.S. Chargé Stephanie Bowers on the assistance to the Defense Force.
The 25-foot safe response boat is perfectly suited for both inner harbor and coastal patrol missions. I am confident the presence of these patrol craft will increase the RBDF's ability to ensure the safe and secure passage of the cruise ships that visit Nassau. As part of this project, we previously provided another boat, as well as trucks and trailers to support the safety and maintenance of these resources. Finally, to promote sustainability in the deployment of and care for the vessels, Safe Boats International will provide training for the RBDF in the coming months.
Minister of National Security Marvin Dame says a joint law enforcement task force may soon patrol the harbor.
Proposing a multi-agency task force whose responsibility it would be to protect our shores, especially New Providence, Grand Bahama, and those islands that are very active. And this will go after all of those persons who are trafficking in illicit contraband, who are dealing in uncustoms goods, who are trafficking in persons, and who are doing any other thing that may be illegal.
Well, the annual Fox Hill Day celebrations took place today, and this morning, as part of the tradition, a number of church services were held throughout the area. Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, Chanel Ferguson, chose to focus on Foxhillians who have made a difference. Now, that church service, of course, a tradition in Fox Hill. The Member of Parliament for the Pinewood area, who is from Fox Hill, Mr. Reuben Ramming, also attended those services. We'll get back to that later on in this newscast. Well, still on Fox Hill, it's one of the oldest communities, as we know. In this report, our DeAndre Williamson takes a look at the history.
Christ paid the death for all the little children. Fox Hill, Bahamas, and all.
At 94 years old, Miriam Roker is one of the oldest residents living in the Fox Hill community. She was born in this house next to the home she resides. This former teacher shares some of her fondest memories growing up in Fox Hill.
It was a really happy community, but everyone was simple. If I needed something and I stood to the gate and one passed, like going to the store, you know, you can say, well, please bring it for me. And it was just like a big family.
Fox Hill is an historic community whose background portrays the horror of slavery. The village was named after Samuel Fox, an ex-slave who lived on the site of St. Augustine's Monastery. Fox settled in the area in 1752.
I just learned that there was no Fox in Fox Hill on top of a hill. It's Samuel Fox, 1801, granted 23.5 acres of property.
Another name associated with Fox Hill's history is Judge Robert Sandilands, who came to the colony in 1820. He owned a plantation in the center of the village. The remains of his home is now an historic site.
4 years later, he subdivided the land and sold parcels following emancipation. The village was divided into several towns: Burnside Town, Joshua Town, Nango Town, Congo Town. Many Foxhillians received their early education here at Sandilands Primary School. The school was established in 1845 and was once called the Sandilands All-Age School. The school was named in honor of Judge Robert Sandilands. And guess what? I attended the school also.
The whole school was in one room. And grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the first section dealt with the primary children. And Miriam Roker, she was my teacher. Miriam Roker, my first teacher, school. She taught me how to write. I could still write. And we did well in school.
Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming says while students left school at the age of 14 in those days, there was one day everyone looked forward to. It was Party Day, now known as Fox Hill Day, celebrated on the second Tuesday in August. Children at the Baptist churches dressed in their best for a program filled with recitations and dialogue.
Those were the candy cars in those days. They couldn't sleep. They didn't lay down at all that night. So Party Day would look good and charming in Party Day. So I called it the right, R-I-T, to passage. So we knew from then, you're no longer at 14, no longer boy, you're a man, no longer girl, you're a woman.
For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Well, as we told you, church services were the feature of this morning in Fox Hill. The Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, Chanel Ferguson, was there for all of them, making it a point to speak to the residents of Fox Hill who have made a difference over the years.
Freddie Ramsey was a senator out of this church. And that Johnny Ann Dorset is currently a senator out of this church. And I also remind people that very few of those who establish our national symbols are still alive. And the national pledge and the national song came out of someone from this church.
Well, Member of Parliament for Pinewood and Foxhillian Reuben Ramming was in attendance to take part in festivities. He spoke about what Fox Hill meant to him.
Fox Hill Day speaks to the organism of this community, which is similar to our Constitution, which gives an abiding respect for Christian value. Why do I say that? It is because the spirit of Fox Hill Day and Fox Hill itself started out of the Baptist churches within the community, and they celebrate that with the children in the community. This has been going on for so long right now that we had to, as I would have just done in church, had to reclassify what a child is. Because right now, the children in Foxville are 80 years old, 70 years old.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling. The Ministry of Tourism and Aviation holding a trade show for the largest association of travel agents in South Florida recently. The 60 members of the Travel Industry Association were educated on the new hotel product offerings in the Bahamas, as well as updated on the new airlift services and tourism programs. President of the TIA says the Bahamas is one of the most important and sought-after tourist destination for Floridans, and this partnership allows them to work closely with the ministry, its hotel suppliers, and industry providers to create programs and generate additional bookings that will further increase business. On the local exchange, our Keyport Development Limited traded 100 shares to close unchanged at $17.43. Commonwealth Brewery Limited traded 1,000 shares to close at $11.42. Commonwealth Bank Limited traded 10,000 shares to close at a new price of $3.99 per share. Fidelity Bank traded 2,000 shares to close to a new price of $12 per share, and Finco traded 3,000 shares to close to a new price of $6.36 per share. And in international business news, Marks & Spencer's is having a problem accepting card payments in some of its stores. Company officials say the problem began this morning and it affected a quarter of its stores. They are trying to resolve the problem as quickly as possible. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling.
Over the Hill is a place that Salem Union Baptist Church is making an impact upon. We see the results of it in terms of resolution of criminal activity and also the positivity of the people that live here. And so we look forward to this partnership with the government. Thank you.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
I tell you, this heat ain't playing. Every day hotter than the last. Even the weekly specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets continue to heat up with great prices like Hill's Biscuits 150 gram pack, 99 cents. Fresh pork shoulders, $1.39 per pound. Lay's chips, 1 ounce bag, 2 for 99 cents. Gatorade drinks, 64 ounce bottle, $2.99. Sweet watermelons, $4.99 each. Watley Bologna, 12 ounce size, 2 for $3. Hot savings only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
More than 300 youngsters living in the Bains and Grandstown constituency will be awarded gift certificates, which will assist them with getting ready for back to school for a new year. Member of Parliament for the area, Travis Robinson, announced this year's back to school initiative will not only be to help with school preparation, but encourage the young residents to excel academically.
My team and I commenced a search to find students throughout the constituency of Bain and Grandstown with a 2.90 to 4.0 grade point average. Upon conclusion of our search on Friday, August 3rd, 2018, we found 137 students from grade 1 through 12, both government and private schools, with a 2.90 to 4.0 GPA. As such, for their hard work and dedication, in addition to all of them receiving a coupon valued at a minimum of $80 to a maximum of $350 to get full uniform from Sandy's.
Well, the more than 300 young students of the area, as well as the 70-plus graduates which were enrolled in various programs at the Cybertech Career College, will participate in the Community Awards ceremony come August 24th. The ceremony will be held under the theme, My Education is Worth Fighting For.
212 students, including the graduates, throughout the community have been identified to be honored on this evening. It is also noteworthy to mention that assistance will also be available for 103 students who did not make the GPA mark, but are also in need of the support. As the Member of Parliament for Bains and Grandstown constituency, I remain resolute in my continued efforts to bring about access, engagement, and opportunity for the great people in the greatest constituency on earth, the constituency of Bains and Grandstown.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
Where can you find amazing selections of tiles from around the world? Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King.
The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
Little Generals on East Street South is well known for the best quality and lowest prices on all your grocery and houseware needs. Little Generals has a large selection of meats, produce, dairy items, water and juices, all your favorite snacks, housewares, vegan products, gourmet items, and health supplements. Anything you can think of, it's all sold right here at Little Generals. Little Generals also provides the best customer service, making you want to come back again and again. So visit Little Generals today on East Street South. Call 325-5798.
It's time now for your first check of weather. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. Right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Valleys, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also Green, Tolkien, Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 86 degrees as well. In the Berry Islands, 85 in Alistown, Bimini. Harbor Island, 84. Rock San Lutra at 85. 85s also in Otterstown, Cat Island, Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andrews, and Fresh Creek in Central Andrews. More 85s in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma at 84 degrees. 84s also in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, and Ragged Island. Matthew Taninago with some cloudiness there at 83 degrees. 83 also in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Ball, home of FYP, the Towel King, and the Pink Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Wednesday, you can anticipate a southeast flow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 10:15 tonight, with another high tide taking place at 10:46 tomorrow morning. For the Central and Southeastern Islands, your winds are going to be out of the east to southeast, 15 to 20 knots, so caution flags are up for your boaters, wave heights 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. And then on Thursday in the Northwestern Islands, winds becoming more east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet, high tide 11:41 in the morning, low tide at 5:59 in the afternoon. And for the Central and Southeastern Islands Thursday, easterly winds dropping off just a tad, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights subsiding 3 to 6 feet. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Early morning on the run, grab my bike, jump in my car, head for Western Air. On this craft fest over there, they say it's bigger and better, sweeter and harder, lively and merrier, celebrating, having fun. Oh my Andrews, here I come. Oh yeah.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 22 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. For some people, asthma is a minor nuisance. For others, it can be a major problem that interferes with daily activities and may lead to a life-threatening asthma attack. Asthma is a condition in which your airways narrow and swell and produce extra mucus. This can make breathing difficult and trigger coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. Asthma symptoms range from minor to severe and vary from person to person. Asthma signs and symptoms include shortness of breath, chest tightness or pain, trouble sleeping caused by shortness of breath, coughing, or wheezing, a whistling or wheezing sound when exhaling. Wheezing is a common sign of asthma in children. Coughing or wheezing attacks that are worsened by a respiratory virus such as the cold or the flu. For some people, asthma symptoms flare up in certain situations like when exercising or doing physical activity in the workplace where chemicals, gases, or dust can be irritants, and asthma can be triggered by allergies. If you have been diagnosed with asthma or suspect you may have asthma, please see your doctor regularly and your condition can be monitored and treated. Severe asthma attacks can be life-threatening. Work with your doctor ahead of time to determine what to do when your signs and symptoms worsen and when you need emergency treatment. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
Robin Hood Flour is bigger and better. When you bake with Robin Hood, you're baking with the best. And you get more for your money. Next time you shop at the food store, stop and compare. Robin Hood Flour gives you more for your money. Go with the flour that's bigger and better. Robin Hood Flour. Find it at your favorite food store.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
By Chef Boyardee and Libby's Vienna Sausages, and you could win $2,000 for a family vacation or other great prizes for back to school. Enter at Pritchard's on Robinson Road today. Promotion ends August 31st.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Team Bahamas playing for gold tonight at the Senior Men's Kazova Championships in Suriname, with the host country lopping up their spot last night in the final. Trinidad and Tobago and the Bahamas took to the court this morning, with the winner advancing to play for the title. The Bahamas took the opening set. Trinidad came back to take the next two, meaning the 2-4-2 had their backs against the wall, but they never flinched, taking the final two sets and making sure there would be a new champion. Set scores 26-24. 21-25, 22-25, 25-19, and 15-12.
Our match today against Trinidad was a well-fought one, and I'm very happy with the guys. We showed we can play under pressure. We showed we can continue playing consistent volleyball, stick to our game plan, and execute. That game advanced us to the finals, so now we have to match up against Suriname that we played early in the tournament. We lost to them in 5 sets, one of the sets being 42-40. We felt like we should have won that game. So going into tonight's game, we're kind of confident about it. We know what we got to do. We have a game plan for it. So our job is just to go out there now and execute, play consistent, and keep our composure. If things not going our way, press forward. So once we do this, we can bring the gold home to the Bahamas.
Now the winner of tonight's matchup between the Bahamas and Suriname will qualify for the NOSICA Continental Cup next year in Canada. The last time the Continental Cup was held in Canada, the Bahamas qualified the year before by winning their first ever Caribbean title in the Virgin Islands. Hopefully the same thing will happen this time around. And with those of you interested, members of the local volleyball community are meeting tonight at Fish Central Arawak Key for a watch party as they show their support for Team Bahamas. While our men's volleyball team goes after gold tonight, another national team getting set to travel in short order. The Bahamas will take part in the Pan American Bowling Confederation Senior and Super Senior Championships, which begin on Sunday in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Men's national champion David Slatter, a part of the squad, and he has high expectations.
Senior men's team, we got 3 former national champs, myself, Lee Davis, Sonny Lockhart, and we got Tyrone Knowles, who was the runner-up this year. So he's been really stepping up his game over the last year and a bit. The chemistry is very, very, very good. We've traveled many times together before. The women's team, we've got national champions there as well, and they're gelling well. And the super senior men, Yule Hoyt and Greg Taylor. Yeah, man, they're fun. They enjoy each other's company. We enjoy their company. Everybody's. I think we're going to have a very unified team, and I think we're going to have a great tournament.
Current women's national champ Driscoll Roll, not old enough to compete at the senior level, but she will represent the Bahamas at the Open edition of PopCon. That's next month in the Dominican Republic.
We have not done as well as we should have in the past, but definitely with continued practice here, the camaraderie and working on our spares and just the fundamentals, we should do well.
Our women's national basketball team getting ready for international competition as well. That's this month in Puerto Rico at the Central Basket Tournament. Practice session started off slow, but they've started to pick up.
We have some of the pieces that we were longing to have in Walter Roll and Leasia Grant, Mavia Dean, some of the bigs that we believe are the best bigs in the country. They are currently out to practice. But I just got some really, really disturbing and shocking news today when I spoke with Valerie Nesbitt coach, and he indicated to me that he is not prepared, or the school is not prepared to release Valerie Nesbitt. So we have a young player by the name of Candy Oaken. She's about 15 years old. We have Joette Fernando, who played now, this is going to be her second year in the point guard position. And we expect some of our players like maybe Tracy Lewis and Bria Forbes to facilitate in the point guard position. So we look like we're going to have to play point guard by committee.
As for the competition itself, once they get to Puerto Rico, it's not going to be easy.
We got Puerto Rico coming out of the gate. Puerto Rico is ranked, I think, 22nd in the world, according to FIBA. And then after Puerto Rico, we play Mexico. And Mexico is ranked, I think 32nd in the world. The third night we have Costa Rica. The Bahamas, according to the FIBA stats, have us ranked 77th in the world. So our objective right now is to beat Puerto Rico. We want to keep it close. And hopefully in keeping it close, we can sneak a win. Because the home crowd is going to be behind Puerto Rico. And plus, they have a very, very good team. And I don't doubt our players, but I know for certain that their players play on the circuit a lot. And I know they have a lot more playing time together as a team compared to our female national team. We get an opportunity to qualify for Women's World Cup in 2019 by finishing fourth in Central Basket. So it's going to be a little challenge for us, but we're going to have to go with what we have and try our best to represent the Bahamas accordingly.
From the NBA, DeAndre Ayton has yet to play a regular season game, but already a feud seems to be brewing between the Bahamian and 76ers big man Joel Embiid. On draft night, Embiid took to Twitter and said, "Don't compare Ayton to me either. I play defense." Ayton's response to this was that he knows the game is changing a lot, but he still wants to stick to being an old school big man, being on the down low and being dominant. So apparently Ayton didn't really care too much about what Embiid said about his defense, but he did respond a few days later, and he actually drew a picture of himself dunking on Embiid. Embiid responded by tweeting, "I love when kids dream big." This could be some playful internet beef like we've seen in the past, or it could spill over to the court. There's really no big man rivalry right now like it's been in the past, so we'll just have to wait and see. The Suns and Sixers play twice a season. This coming season, the first will be on Monday, November 19th at Wells Fargo Center in the city of brotherly love. The two meet again the day after New Year's in the desert. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series rolling along at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Over the weekend, the University of the Bahamas Mingos suffering a 105-70 setback at the hands of Marshall. UB head coach Bacchus Roll called it a learning experience.
We looked at offensive sets to see what we couldn't get done, defensive positioning. I hate to lose by 30 plus, but all in all, as when you sit down and look at what you have, you see what worked, what didn't work, and you come back and try to do something else.
The Bahamas Professional Golfers Tour, in conjunction with RMS Insurance, getting ready to put on a $1 million hole-in-one competition. The event is free of charge and open to all golfers, male and female, over the age of 15. It will take place on Friday, August 31st during the tour's next event at Bahamas Royal Blue Golf Course. Now into its 8th year, the Bernie Russell Memorial Pool Tournament will take place November 8th through the 11th in Grand Bahama, and it will encompass an international flavor.
We have players already, what we call trash talking out of Canada. We have some French-Canadian players. They come in to take the cheese, and we definitely look forward to the competition. They are very threatened by us. They really look up to us and respect us greatly on the table. So definitely the Bahamas is on the map when it comes to pool.
Tournament organizer Kevin Miller also spoke about how they were able to attract such an international field.
What we do is we take part or visits, like in June we went to Vegas, the annual BNEA Championships in June. Prior to that we went to an event in Orlando that was also had players. So we invite those players to come and now take part in the tournament in Freeport. So every year we've been growing, and I can almost guarantee that this year the numbers are going to be much greater than it's always been in the past, and we look forward to a successful event.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned, the Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. Family fun, audience prizes, see the live entertainment with featured singer Thin Ice. All happening this Friday, August 17th at the Courtyard Marriott. Be there. Tickets only $15, available at Airbrush Junkies, the Mall at Marathon.
I had an awesome time. Very good. It was a lot of fun. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was really nice.
It was tremendous, and I felt as though I was in the States at one of those game trivia shows.
Yeah, and more Bahamians should come out and support this event, because you're not only learning new things about the Bahamas, about the world as a matter of fact, but you're also donating to charities that are, needing help here in the Bahamas. So come on, it's only $15. What's $15?
Thank you.
No VAT.
Be a part of the live studio audience for the Diamond Trivia Challenge. See you there.
For a moment, we've missed the mark or we've fallen short. But this generation of over the hill young people are bringing back the value and the principle on which their forefathers has taught them.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill Project.
Carlton Bowleg. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
Go to North Andros and the Berry Islands.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the Family Islands today.
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs. The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later. Inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes, the Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the Saffir-Simpson scale also included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate, just a few years ago the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2, 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour. And a Category 5 hurricane will have winds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency.
When you think you're in love, you want to share everything. But the one thing you should share is your HIV status. Be smart. Know your partner and your partner's HIV status.
Know your HIV status. Get tested. A message from the Pan American Health Organization and the HIV/AIDS Center, Ministry of Health.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we'll get you started in the tropics, and we have this non-tropical low in the northern Atlantic. It has a good chance of developing, at least a 40% chance of developing some sort of subtropical characteristic by tomorrow. But even if it does so, we anticipate that it will be short-lived. The reason being, it will be moving very rapidly towards the north and east, towards those colder waters of the Atlantic. Elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development not expected over the next 5 days. And on the home front, that mid to upper level trough just to the west of us will fire up 1 or 2 showers, but things are kind of drying up because we now have a mix of that Sahara dust that is working its way into our forecast area. But over the central and southeastern Bahamas, we have that tropical wave that's also moving through, and that's spreading some showers and thunderstorms over the southeast and central Bahamas tonight, and that will continue tomorrow. The forecast for tonight, particularly here in the capital, few clouds on the warm side, so if you're going out to Fox Hill celebrations, it's a pretty good night for that. could have a very brief shower taking place during the early morning hours. Hopefully by then they would have wind down. 79 degrees will be your low temperature, and tomorrow we're looking at a pretty decent day. Mostly sunny and hot with a slight pop-up shower possible. High temperature about 90 degrees, and your heat index tomorrow is going to be around 103 degrees. Extended weather forecast looking like this. Very summer-like, 90s straight through the period. Showers developing again on Friday, and particularly on Saturday. It seems as though Saturday is going to be a wet day, so if you're planning some activities for Saturday, well, you'll have to just take a rain check, because it seems as though there may be some rains in the forecast on Saturday. But before I leave, my son Jamal celebrates a birthday today. So on behalf of his mom, his stepmom Brenda, his brother Dominic, and of course his son Jamal Carter, he wants me to let his daddy know that he very much appreciate him on this day. And then I can't leave out his wife, Tammy. You know, this is their first year of marriage, so you know, it's been a wonderful year for all of us in the Dane family.
Well, he shares a birthday, incidentally, with our Crystal Darling. She celebrates her birthday today. She spent it here with us. Go figure, but I hope she had a good day nonetheless. Well, just before we go, this programming note: at 11:30 tonight, programming on the ZNS Radio and Television Network will be interrupted to conduct technical assessments. We apologize for any inconveniences caused, but of course everything will be back up and running just in time for the morning edition at 7 o'clock right here on ZNS TV 13. That does it for us tonight in the National Report. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks for looking in and have a great night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.